Does it really matter if you keep your pipeline organized or not? Today, I'm going to dig into why it does matter as to why you keep your pipeline organized. Hi, everybody. My name is Jessie. I am a certified Honeybook Pro as well as a business consultant. On this channel, I like talking about all things systems related, specifically for service-based business owners, because I know what it feels like to have things unorganized and how overwhelming it will feel. So in today's topic, I'm going to share with you why it matters to have your Honeybook pipeline organized. And if you're not using Honeybook, you will still find this as a helpful video. So whatever CRM system you're using, you can apply it. So let's get into it. So you may be asking yourself, what does it mean by pipeline? Depending what platform you use, it will look different. So what I'm going to do is share my screen so you can see exactly how it looks inside of Honeybook. And then we'll dig into 5 of the things in which will help you with understanding how to run your pipeline. Okay, so I'm just taking you inside of one of my pipelines. So your pipeline is going to look like this at the top. Your pipeline is going to be essentially the customer journey that is going to help you with understanding where your client is when we're talking about your workflow. So as you can see in this screen, I have different steps and categories in which I use inside of my business. We're looking more or less right now in the consulting side of my life, and my pipeline inside of my event business looks different, and it will look different for you as well. I think sometimes the part that people get frustrated about when you see videos that are about a platform or Honeybook is that you want more specific information. However, most companies run differently and everyone's workflows and steps will be different. If you are not clear about what your workflow needs to look like or what your pipeline needs to look like, you can schedule a consultation with me and I would love to dig into your business and do a process mapping for you. So when you're hearing me say about pipeline, it's going to be the different stages inside of your client flow. As you can see here, we're going to have our inquiry follow-ups, scheduled appointments, when proposals are sent, if they paid, and then you're going to have your different categories that make sense for your specific business. So now that you have been able to see exactly what a pipeline looks like, because I know that it can be confusing when we hear these terms and we're not quite sure what it looks like inside of the system. So just remember, whatever platform you're using, hopefully you're using Honeybook. And if you're not and you want to try it out, I do have a link inside of my caption that will allow for you to get a 7-day trial and then also save 50% off on your membership. The first reason why having your pipeline organized matters is because it will help you have an organized view of your projects. I've gone into people accounts where they have projects that are open from 2 years ago, and there's so much confusion that is in that account. I find that when people have disarray in that type of capacity, it's very hard to know what is going on, or it may mislead you as to what's really happening inside of your business. I rather see that I only have a few projects that are open right now that I know that are active and are moving forward, compared to me showing 100 plus projects and only 2 of them are actually active. So you want to be able to make sure you keep them organized so that you really know exactly what projects are actively being worked on, which ones you need to follow up on, which ones have been paid, or when we're talking about the stages inside of your pipeline. So if you're needing to do a consultation, or if you're doing a walkthrough with a client or a test makeup trial, depending again on the type of business you have, you want to be able to easily go right into your sales system to find out, okay, I see that I have this amount of clients that I need to do a on-site tour with, or I have this amount of clients that I have consultations coming up, or I have this amount of leads that have come through that haven't scheduled a consultation. All of that information will help you with understanding what you need to do inside of your business, and it will help with removing a lot of the confusion that can exist when we just have a whole bunch of names and numbers and emails and text messages all over the place. And I don't want for you to feel overwhelmed. The second reason why it matters is because it will allow for you to have easy project tracking. It may seem as if it's the same as the first one. However, it's a different approach. One of the reasons why I like to use Honeybook inside of my own event business is so that I can easily see what I need to be doing inside of my workflow, which means I don't have to stress about what needs to happen next. I often talk about on this platform the beauty of automation. Automation does not mean that you don't have a client experience. It does not mean that you aren't able to give a personal touch. It means that it alleviates the stress of you having to always navigate and do things manually inside of your business. You are going to have moments in which things are going to be extremely busy in your business. Hopefully, if you're not already there yet, because we all are in different places in our business. However, I always say it's good to learn how to manage what you have now, because we all want to get more clients and we all want to have different goals that we're going after. But if we can't manage what we have now, what you'll find is that the quality of your services will then suffer because there isn't anything that's helping you have clarity. So with inside of my event business, I keep my pipeline organized so I can see the difference between which projects I'm actually planning. So it means I might be looking for vendors to source. I may be ordering supplies. I might be finalizing some details with the client. And then I have a column that is booked vendors. So then I can tell which projects I have already booked my vendors and which ones I have not got confirmed yet. That may seem minute, but anyone that's in the event industry knows that that is something that's major, because I know that with inside of my business, there's been times when I thought I had someone booked for something and I did not. And then what happened is then I'm scrambling last minute to try to find a solution because I had this step not definitely marked inside of my pipeline. So I think it's super important to think to yourself, whenever you've had a learning issue or a learning opportunity in your business, what can you do inside of your pipeline so that you're not, again, hoarding all of this information and it doesn't help you of understanding what is next inside of your business? The third reason as to why your pipeline matters is that it makes it easier for team member collaboration. It may only be you right now. However, I always say it's better to learn how to manage yourself before you start managing other people, because I've heard so many times where people end up letting go of an assistant, a VA, an executive assistant, their cousin, their sister, whatever person that they have working with them, because they felt like they were doing it all still by themselves. And they were like, why am I paying someone to do everything if I'm still having to do everything? And the reason why that often happens, again, is because there's no clarity. And when there's no clarity, it's very hard for someone to take initiative to do the next step because they're not even clear about what the next step is or what has already happened. So when you keep your pipeline organized, where you can have someone that works with you, and if you say, hey, today is going to be the day you're going to go through follow-ups and find out if we need to do an extra step or if we need to archive projects, they can go and do that. Or if you have someone that is working with you to prep for an event, or if you're a caterer and you have someone that's going to be prepping for your catering events that are coming up this upcoming weekend, for example, you want for them to easily go right into your pipeline to be able to find the projects easily. Could you imagine if you had someone supporting you and you had a big stack of 30 projects, half of them from last year and only one current, and you now told someone, okay, I want you to prep for our events that are coming up this week. They're going to have to go through all of those projects to find out which one you're talking about, and time is money. So the least organized you are, it's going to cost you either in the time that you're going to be paying someone to work or just cost you in mistakes. So it's super important for you to take the time to keep your pipeline clearing. I do tell people, don't ever delete your projects, because deleting your projects is not, to me, beneficial, because you will find that some clients will come back. That has happened where someone decides to reach out to me in January for something that's happening in the summer, but because it's not urgent, they are not moving on it yet. I do not just let that sit in my pipeline for 5 months until they're ready to pull the trigger. What I'll do is a few touches. I typically do about 3 follow-ups with inside of my event business. And after the third follow-up, if they haven't responded back, I just archive it. And when they do reply back, eventually all I have to do is just reactivate that project, and it's super easy to do. And then it removes the headache of having to now enter all of the information back in, recapture the information, which again is just, to me, why do that when all I had to do in the beginning was just archive it. So I do challenge you to go through your pipeline. If you're one of those people that have a ton of projects that you know good and well, you should have archived it or moved it into the proper pipeline, and do that so that you're able to really get yourself in a position to welcome all the new business that you're going to be receiving without sacrificing your sanity in the meantime. So if you have found this video helpful, please let me know. I love talking to y'all to find out what are some other topics in which I can help you with understanding how to master Honeybook or just master your business to be able to have the success in which you desire. That's it for now.